Hello everybody, this is Chuck, and as I always say, I really appreciate you spending some time here, stopping by my channel. This video, I don't know what to call it, this or that, miscellaneous items, a little bit of a shop update. Hopefully you find it's entertaining. There's some entertainment value in here. Got some things to show you. Didn't show you any machining that I've been doing, but here's a finished product. This is a actuator for a skylight for one of my friends, and it's a Acme thread, and you can see the Acme nut is totally wore out. Well, it's trying to determine what it is, imperial or metric. And when I put it on my comparator, I couldn't get a reading of 7 threads per inch. It was actually, I think it's metric. It was just beyond 7 threads per inch. So my lathes don't do metric. So I've done this before in the past. I was guessing between 6 and 7. So in a piece of Delrin-like material, I threaded it at 6 with an Acme tool bit that I ground, and you could watch the, and I cut it in half, and you could watch the thread go in and start to walk itself out of the thread because the TPI was wrong. And so right there it's starting to get tight, getting tight, and it just starts to walk out of the thread. So I said, well, we're going to try a 7. And so I ended up doing a 7, and it turned out well. It's not a perfect Acme thread. It's nice and tight. I think it'll work for him. So anyway, so that was fun. And then I don't know if you can see it on there, but there's a little X to show him where he can drill the holes in it that he needs to drill. Anyway, so that was kind of fun on the lathe. Did it on my closing. I have to admit to a nice boo-boo on it, a bozo. As I was getting and I guess in the long run, bozo helped me. I was very close. I was basically done. Okay, and I was starting to get picky, and I said, well, you know, maybe I can do a little bit. So I set up a dial indicator since my compound was parallel with the lathe bed. I was just going to advance the compound just a little bit, chew a little bit more off on the thread. So I set up a magnetic base on the dial indicator, and as did that, so yeah, I can, any backlash in the compound thread, you know, I'll know. And I started turning it. Jeez, turn it. Oh, look at that. Jeez, there's a lot of damn backlash in this compound. What the hell's going on? And of course, I look at the other side, and oh yeah, Charlie here. I set the magnetic base against the carriage and not the compound. So hence, it wasn't reading. So long story short, the thread turned out perfect. I probably was going to douche it. So anyway, that's that. So I'm going to grab the camera, and we're going to go for a quick little walk and little discussion, and then I'll show you some items I purchased and an addition that I did to my welding table here. I think you're going to find this unique. None of these things are my ideas, okay? I'm a great copier, but I want to share it with you, okay? So here we go. So let's start over here. Couple different things. I mainly came over to show you these plastic bottles. Where does that idea come from? I got it from Lipton, right? Old Tom Babe. They've worked out great since I put them there years ago. Denatured alcohol, acetone, lacquer thinner, and kerosene. And they're just there for that squirt you need every now and then on something. Been great. The other thing show you here is where I 3D printed handles for the cant twists. They work great. get a grip on that. You can actually buy those for the product. I saw them at a friend's shop and said, yeah, I can 3D print those, and so I did do that. Okay, we're going to continue on. Now here's something you guys have seen from, if you follow me, of course, you see Uncle Tom Lipton, his goo gun for the green goo. What the hell do they call this stuff? Anchor lube. Yeah, anchor lube. You know, I'm not a big fan of anchor lube myself. The times I've used it, it stains the vise if you leave it there. It hasn't impressed me, to be honest with you. I have the product. So the unit I purchased off of Amazon, it's not expensive. I think 13 bucks or something like that. It comes with a short needle. Tom actually bought extra needles and got longer needles. But you know, if you need a little dab of you know, you can't beat that. You can't beat that at all. So when I do use this product, it will be good. And then what I did is to seal it, I ended up using a vacuum fitting to fit over the edge, and it'll be here by my mill, or you know, in the machine shop here. So let's continue on. Down here is a whole nother set of bottles. Tap Magic, cutting oil, WD-40, hard cut, and hydraulic jack oil. This is a copy from Stefan. These little bottles are great. I'm really, really happy with them. And they get used all the time. You can see how filthy they are just from the use. And again, you can see my supply of anchor lube that I have. Those all came from the bash. And so I've got probably a lifetime supply for myself. There's even more up there on that shelf. But I have another situation I'm going to show you about some bottles. But we're going to back up from there for a second. And want to talk about my drill press table here. So I ended up purchasing this piece of aluminum. I think it was about $100, 18 by 24. So I wanted to increase the table itself, and I was having a lot of issues with using the T-nuts. Just wasn't happy with it. So ended up drilled and tapped for 1/2 inch 13. And my good friend Vince Ender, who has a channel, he was kind enough to do this on his CNC Bridgeport. So we went down and drilled all the holes. And then he mentioned to me, he goes, well, you need to get these little black plugs from John Saunders. And that way you don't have all the crap getting into the threaded holes. That's great. So I ordered them, and they wouldn't go in the threaded holes. They need a counter bore so that these can drop down in. So with that said, Vince got a call from me and went back down, and we reset it up, and we did a counter bore on everything. So I'm very, very happy with the addition of the table. I think I did a video of all my various vices that I have down there. But really, really happy with it. You can see here where I set up a stop, and you know, I basically had a repeatable setup coming back in and out to modify these pieces right here. I already took the cutter out of there, but it works out well. I'm really, really happy with it, and a great upgrade to my drill press. Okay, let's head back out into the main shop. I think we're done in here, other than all my messes, and I want to show you this guy. So let me put you on a stand, and I will be right back. Well, this is an addition I did to my welding table. It's been known as the Swiss Army knife of welding tables. I saw Keith Fenner, months ago when he was using his oven and then he needed to grind, and he used a smaller mag on his welding table to hold something to grind. And I went, oh man, that is slick. So I went on the hunt and was looking for a mag chuck off of a surface grinder, and I did manage to find this guy the other day. 85 pounds worth. Is a Brown & Sharp magnetic chuck. Picked it up for $100, which I was sweet. And then, you know, sure, I could take it over to my surface grinder and grind it, but that's not the purpose of this unit here. It's for very simple things, you know, something like that. If I wanted to hold it real quick, turn on the mag, it's locked. I can grab the grinder. I can grind. It's not going to take off. The other day I did a plate and I had to clean up all the edges. Great. Now, sure, I've got a welding table. That has drilled holes and I can use clamps and things, but it's just a really nice little added feature on the welding table. And building all this stuff was scrap in my shop, and built a simple slide out of pipe, and really, really happy with it. Simple to move, works well. Ended up, I had extra transfer blocks, so I figured I'll leave them down here. They're extras. Don't know if I'll ever use them here for that purpose, but really, really happy with this setup here. So, okay, onward we go. Let me grab it and I'll be right back. Well, here's a Kennedy toolbox I picked up the other day at the meet, greet, and swap that I put on. I do these meet and greets and swaps. I was trying to do 4 a year. Been a little lazy lately, but we recently held one and we had an attendance of 60 people and a lot of nice items. It was held at a friend's shop where it's a large sheet metal mechanical company, and so he showed his laser and his CNC bender in action. Great family, and then of course we went over to his home shop, and I think you've seen videos of his home shop on other channels. It's just quite amazing. But that's not what this is about, other than I picked up this toolbox for my daughter, to be honest with you. But I picked up these guys, Amazon, and I was watching another, it's a guy that's doing a lot of precision metrology, and he showed these items. I guess they use them in the fingernail industry, but they're a little flip top, and you press on it, and you get fluid. So yeah, I have my bottles in the other room that I showed you, but if I want just a little bit on end of a rag, and I want to come over and use it like here on this drawer right here, and take this writing off, it's very, very controlled. They're inexpensive. I'm really happy with this. Top locks back down. So I'm going to have lacquer thinner, and then I haven't filled this one yet, but acetone. And I bought 4, it came in a package of 4. Again, really inexpensive. So I think it's a nice addition to the shop. I'm looking forward to that. And the other thing I purchased, I haven't even opened it yet, but I did a rant on Q-tips years ago, and so multi-purpose cleaning swabs. And there's many times where you have to get in to small places and actually have a controlled swab. And so, like I said, I haven't opened them up yet, but I think it's going to be a nice addition to the shop. I actually had found these bottles and these swabs from watching a fellow's channel. I forget who it was, and he gave us a link, and I went to the link, and like these bottles were, I don't know, $3 each or something like that, if that. And a set of swabs was like $3 or $4 for a really nice setup. So yeah, put it in my box. I want it. And so it was a total bill of like $13 or something like that, with a $35 shipping charge. So I canceled that. Amazon, can't beat Amazon. So that's my story. Let me see if there's anything else I want to show you, and then we'll call it a quits on this video. Well, Vevor. Yeah, you guys are going, oh crap, Vevor. Hey, they contacted me the other day and asked me if I wanted to do a review of a welder, and I looked at it. I said, sure. I have purchased tools from Vevor, and I've had tools sent to me to do demonstrations on, and they're not junk. There's a lot of good tooling that comes out of there. I don't know if it's in the picture here or not. Let me turn the camera a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to raise you up for a second, put you back down. You can see in the corner there, that orange box, which is a 135-foot power cord. It's been fantastic. I paid for, no, I think they demoed that for me. I bought their hose reels for garden hoses. Fantastic. But anyway, long story short, be doing a video on this guy here probably next week. Do a demonstration on it. I've done various welding demonstrations of different machines, and I do these. Actually, my buddy will end up with this machine, but I do this. It's a product review. You guys get to see what things cost and what's available. I hope it's a benefit to you. With that said, again, thank you for stopping by the shop. I've got some really big items I seagulled. Some of you guys know what they are. I won't say, we'll do a video on that coming up. It's a teaser here right now. 2 big items. I actually own one just like it. There's a hint for you. Okay, see you guys. Take care.